Hey there everybody, it's Kelly with Kellyscards.ca and welcome to the What's in My Stash series video. For this week I thought I'd discuss some different pens that I have. I have some journaling pens I write with in here. I have some other black pens that I have used, you know, over the time, and of course I'm going to throw the Stella in here. I wasn't quite sure where to quite put it in my What's in My Stash video, so I think I will include it in this video here with pens. So there is quite a variety of pens on the market. I think I will start with writing pens. I purchased a lot of the friction pens, and if you know, those are the pens that have the eraser on the end, and a lot of people really like those pens and they raved about them. I bought a lot of pens, and I even bought like the highlighter versions of them. Love the highlighters, but as for the pens, they all dry out. If you don't use them over and over again, they just won't work. So I unfortunately bought like 2 or 3 packages of them, and I put them in my pen jar and they all dried up. I could not get them working. So I needed to find some other pens that might work for me. I really like the erasable feature. It is awesome. I don't know why I would ever use kind of a regular pen again after having these erasable pens. So this is one from Papermate, and this package, I just bought a package of 3 here, and it came with orange, pink, and blue. I really like them. They're erasable. I like the colors that they put out. They are smooth, and I'll just show you here on the paper how nice that it is. And again, they weren't overly expensive. They erase, they're colorful, they're easy to hold, and I really love these pens. So as you can see, they're very flowing, and I haven't really used this pen in a while and it still works. And I'll just use the pink one here, and really like that color as well. And maybe I'll just zoom in a little bit more so that you can see the colors. And here is the blue one. Really like the colors. I really like how easy these are to use. And again, these are the Papermate version, and it says Replay Premium, and it's a 0.7 sized pen end. I really like these pens. I think these are the ones that are going to replace the friction pens overall, and I will probably look at buying some other colors, but for now these have actually passed my pen test, which is great. So a couple months back I did a video, which will be linked down below, about these pens. These are from Kaiser, and this is the pastel set. There's 12 pens in here, and these are gel pens, and I think these were originally put out for coloring pages and that, but I really like them for journaling and kind of in my day timer, and it just made kind of keeping track of schedules and that just a little bit more fun. Really like these pens. These are quite free flowing. So I did that video quite a while ago, and again, I really like them. They still work. I haven't actually used them in a little bit, because it's been a little bit that I have gotten back into my usual pattern after my time away. But as you can see, really nice spread of ink. These ones here are a little bit more of a finer tip than the Papermate pens, but really like these ones here. Variety of colors. These Kaiser pens come out in a variety of colors. These are the pastel colors. These are sold at Simon Says Stamp, and they have a 24-pack set that is, again, all these color gels. They also have a 48-pack set, which would be all the colors together, but they also sell these ones. This is, again, the pastel set. They also have a metallics color set as well as a neon set. So great choice for colors on that one. And I would assume that most scrapbook places would sell them, a lot of online stores as well. So of course we have to talk about the Wink of Stella pen. Who doesn't love these Wink of Stella pens? They are available in many, many colors, but really the only one I own is the clear. I like the clear because it can go over a colored image and it's not going to change the color of the image. It's just going to add the little bit of glimmer or glitter, and really, really like this pen. I'm just going to bring an image in here, and I'm just going to take my Wink of Stella pen and I'm just going to give some glimmer here to her hair. And what I really like about this pen is it's very controlled. It's not oozing out. You're not going to have a super big mess on your hands when you use a pen like this. And it just goes on really nicely. And I'm hoping the camera will be able to pick up the glitter. If you haven't heard about these pens, I would kind of be surprised because everybody in the market has kind of gone crazy about these pens. I hope you can see the glitter there. It's very hard to pick up today because it's so sunny, but it just adds a really nice subtle glitter on top. And it just, you know, for some of the images or some of the cards, if you just want to add a little bit of glimmer, say to a die cut heart or an image like this, or even a word, you could die cut a word die and then use this Wink of Stella and put it over just to get a nice coating of glimmer. So really like these pens. They aren't overly expensive. A lot of people have talked that you can, when this runs out, you can add a little bit of water and it kind of keeps going for a little while with the glimmer. So that's pretty awesome too. So that is the Wink of Stella brush. Going into some of my other favorite things, I couldn't live without Sharpies. I love Sharpies because they're a permanent ink, and I have the bigger nibs for this pen, and I use this on labeling things and all of that, so I always have this in my stash. So the next pen I have is this wonderful Memento pen. Now this is made by Memento, and this is the Tuxedo black color pen that I have here. And what's great about this pen is it's a dual brush marker. So we have the kind of thicker, bigger pen size, and then the nice, thin, fine pen size. And what's great about this pen is Memento Tuxedo ink is very good for using with Copics. So if you stamp an image and then you want to color it in, this type of ink won't bleed and it won't transfer or mess up your coloring. But what's great about this is they've put this in a pen size. So if you want to add details to some of your images that you've stamped and Copic colored, this is no problem. This is not going to make a mess. But the other reason why I use this pen is, let's say that I want to use this image on a card, but I want to outline it with black. So let's say that this was a critter and I cut her out and I wanted to make sure that I wouldn't see the white side of the image. You can just take your brush marker and run it along the end, and this is going to help your image or your piece basically stand out from the rest of your card. So anytime you do any kind of paper piecing or any kind of, you know, cutting out critters and having them on a scene card, this just helps kind of eliminate that white look off the side. And of course, when you cut really close to an image, which I'll just do here quickly to show you. So if I start cutting in here and I'm going to cut along her hair, and maybe for ease, I'm just going to cut her little bow off here so we can see, and I just cut around her hair. When you put this on a card, you don't want to see this white here. So what you can do is take these markers and just kind of edge it with this Memento marker, and it just helps that stand out. If I kind of put it up to the paper, you can see that black line now, and it just helps separate this image from the rest of your card or project. So that is what I use this pen for. Really like it. It's been in my stash for years and it still works really good. So lastly, going into a few of the last few markers, this is a Copic Multiliner brush. This is the 0.3 version. It is quite thin. I'm just going to add this image here, and I'm just going to show you what I use this Copic liner market for. So I would like to just add a little bit more details to the outlines. Let's just do the dress here, and I'll just let you see what it looks like before. And yes, it looks nice and all, but if we really want her to pop out, we're gonna take this multi-liner brush, and maybe I'll just do the top part of the dress here and not the bottom, and you can just see how much those darker lines stand out. And then if I just finish off the dress here, you can just see how that dress pops out. And what people will do is they will just add basically these lines across throughout the whole image. And I'm not doing the greatest job here, but just to give you an idea of what a difference it makes. It really, really looks good, and it helps the image stand out, and it looks great. And of course, if you wanted to add little details, these pens are really good. Let's say you wanted to add a little bit of stitching lines around this image, you could also do that with this pen here. Another pen I have is this one here by Ranger. This is the Emboss It pen. If you do any kind of heat embossing, you will love this pen. So let's say that you wanted to heat emboss the word hello, but you didn't want to use a stamp. You just write your word, and then this acts just like a Versamark type ink, and then you would coat it with your embossing powder, heat, set it, and then you would have an embossed image. This is really great because you can doodle, you can add words in that, or you could draw pictures. And also what I also use this is, let's bring this image back in. Let's say that I heat embossed, say something on this image, and something didn't come out right. I can just gently touch over the image. Let's say that the embossing powder didn't quite stick to the heart. I can re-ink that heart, and then the ink will be wet. And again, this is just like Versamark. And when I add my embossing powder to that, it will stick to that, and I can reheat it. So this is really great too if you've made mistakes while embossing. This is a really good fix for that, and I often have this pen out. I use this quite often actually. And I'd like to show this pen. A lot of people have these pens. This one here is the Uniball Signo broad pen in white, and really love this pen. If you have some of these pens and it doesn't quite get started, you can just kind of rub it on your finger till the ink comes out. And I just love these pens. They write on black, and there finally the liquid is going. But what I love about these pens is that you can write on the darker cardstock, so blacks and browns, etc., anything dark. A lot of times people, when they're Copic markering, a lot of times if you're Copic coloring and you just get out of your image a little bit, just running a little of this over the top where you went out also helps. So this pen has a variety of uses as well. That is all for this week's video on what's in my stash. Really love all these pens. I hope you found this video useful. Again, I don't have a ton of pens. I find sometimes people stock up pens and pens and pens, and the thing is they don't use them and then they dry out, and that really, to me, I don't want to be frustrated by that. So I keep my pens to a limited amount like you see here, but I use these quite often. And again, these specialty pens are awesome. As always, there will be another video in my series next week, so you'll want to check for that. And you can check me out on my website at Kellyscards.ca. You can subscribe for more videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.